Hear ye! The Mappening begins. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Brr-dum, bum, bum, bum. Brr-dum, dum, dum, dum. Dum, dum. Can it really just go on repeating itself like that forever? Oh no. Is there... Hello? Hello? Hey guys. It's the Mappening. Live map drawing and talking about D&D and other things. As I pointed out in the chat, hey, yeah, after I said, don't ask, email me about that question. And I thought, wait a minute, no. I need things to talk about here. So, anything goes, guys. In case you're wondering, I'll answer the first question in advance. I know it's coming. I'm drinking coffee. What are you drinking, Nate? You guys weren't going to ask that. All right. Well, it's been a while since the last Mappening, guys, and it's good to be back in it here. Let me make sure everything's looking okay. You guys let me know if anything's looking or sounding off. Any awful buzzing noises or other than the cicadas outside, which, yeah, that's going to happen. I've been working on this map quite a bit on Facebook, streaming. If you guys didn't know, I've been doing a lot of streaming on Facebook just because it's super easy to be like casual about it. I'm trying to keep my YouTube channel a little more curated and really intentional about the content I put there. So I am doing less live streaming overall. But I still will absolutely be doing some. That's my plan for now, at least, is to continue doing some streaming of this variety and possibly some DM roundtables coming up. But yeah, here we are. So anyway, all that to say, excuse me, if you're on Facebook, make sure you're following. There it is. And getting notifications and stuff like that. Just go ahead and like WASD20 on Facebook, and you'll be more likely to see streams and stuff. And sometimes I'm getting a lot of products for review as well. And I have too many that I can put on YouTube. I don't want to make my YouTube channel the, hey, check out this cool product channel all the time. Like, there's going to be some of that. I'll do product reviews. I'll continue to do that. But I'm kind of overloaded with that stuff. And so I'm going to start putting stuff on Facebook for that too. People send me stuff. I might not give it a full YouTube review, but I'll, unbox it on Facebook and keep communicating in that method as well. Maybe on Twitter too. I don't know. All right. This is Mira, guys. Yes, I am using a tablet. I'm using my Cintiq. I think I have a link to all my tools in the video description, but I'm not totally sure. If not, I definitely have a link to a lot of them in the video I posted yesterday, which is about coloring a map. That went okay. It went it's upside down. Just okay, I would say. It kind of looks like Australia a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't super happy with the results, and I kind of debated, like, should I post this video or should I keep trying to get better at this? And I thought, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to mess with these anymore. I decided to post it. So, yeah. But I definitely, in a future Mappening sometime, hopefully in September, will be taking a crack at the coloring technique that Hankrin Ingrid Bernal over at Runehammer. If you're not subbed to Runehammer, check him out. I asked him, hey, what about a color map? How would you do that? And he said, I'm on it. And then, sure enough, on Saturday, he last Saturday I think it was, he streamed how he does a color map. He tried it and painted it up in Photoshop, and it was really cool. So I'll be probably trying that method at some point. But yeah. Cool, there's a lot of people here. And why don't we do a little shout out, where are you from? And then we'll get going. I'm trying to, yeah, okay. Wow, looks like, yeah, about 50 people or so. I always complain about this. I wish there was a way like just to have chat and like how many people are currently watching. Very easy and evident. Right at the top of something. Someone was complaining about the dislikes. It happens when I schedule a live stream. People will click on it like a couple days beforehand, and I think they're like, oh, this is scheduled. It starts in 2 days or something like that, and they automatically leave a dislike. Yeah, so that happens. It's okay. You know what? It's okay. I don't mind. I don't take it personally. Ooh, what's going on here? Something bad just happened. All right, there we go. So I'm going to be working on this map, but I also have a little bit of this to do today, guys. So on this one, you might notice there's just too much blank space, so it's time. We have come to the point of starting to fill it in with some terrain-y type stuff. I also still have to do a compass rose, but yeah, mostly going to be doing terrain-y type stuff. And let's start down in the Tarathi Waste, shall we? How do we do wastes? You know how we do wastes, guys. Looks like we've got Netherlands in the house. What? My homeland. I've never been there, but, you know, it's in my blood. Spokane. What's up, Spokane? I love Spokane. It's a nice city. Idaho, Phoenix, AZ, keeping it real because it is hot right there. Yeah, you poor graphics. Italy in the house. We've got Australia, more Netherlands, Chicago, New Jersey, England, New York. Yep, Arkansas. Well, Joey, thank you. All right, here we go. Let's draw. We're gonna, I think we might need, do I have like a terrain? I'm gonna get rid of all the text here. We're just gonna do the image layers. Okay. Do I have a terrain layer? I don't think I do. Trees, roof trees. I've been doing some of the terrain on the, like I did this Hellscar thing on my mountain layer. So anyway, I should make a proper new, just kind of terrain-y type things. Terrain type things. Layer. And we'll get going with that. Yeah, so the H on this is actually the capital H is that way in this font. And it kind of bugs me, but yeah, like here we go. If we go up to the Hinterlands, for example. That's just the way it is. I don't know. I think it's worth it because it's a cool font. But you kind of get used to that. I think if you see a number of them around the map, it helps, I think. Whereas if you just see one, it's like, hey, he forgot to capitalize that. All right, so I'm on my terrain type things layer. I've got a nice white pen, which is exactly not what I want. Switch it up, black. All right, so if you guys are drawing your wastelands, sometimes I recommend a very thin pen when you're doing terrain. I'm going to get mine quite a bit thinner. Ooh. What is happening? I can just do this. I forgot. Okay, that's pretty good. So we're going to go pretty thin with this. And a couple things that I usually do. Generally, if you're just wanting to add some texture, some terrain type lines, you just kind of go like this. And add these kind of lines in here. And that can really help. Just gives it something, right? Sometimes you can follow, that's a little much. You can follow the coastline a little bit here. Just kind of, oh, my stomach is grumbling. I had some pancakes. What's happening? Are you hungry, belly? I do appreciate, being able to do a Mappening earlier in the day because I'm getting some of the international viewers a little bit more. Yeah. Ohio. Arkansas. 3D map, no. No. No, I'm not holding shift. All right, so that's kind of just a base sort of wispy terraininess, but now we got to get some, I usually, you know, I started and I did some like cacti when I used to do these, but now I do these sorts of things quite a bit, which I like. Just kind of these pointy wasteland looking things, rock formations that are kind of pointy. Let's erase this. For some reason it's feeling a little bit weird drawing it that way. Kind of do some dotted lines there. Down like that. We can do just like a kind of a rock formation here. I like that first one, but the second one I feel like needs to be a little bigger in the background. There we go. Some boulders. Sometimes you kind of do these. There we go. And we'll do some just small little bits too. Just some little scattered stones here and there, showing that there is not much life here. If I'm labeling my map with a rock, that means that's probably about all there is there. Okay, so I think this is coming along. Looking wasty. Totally wasted, bro. And dot, 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 dot. Okay. Cool. Norway. Hey, Link, welcome. Yeah, Czech Republic. Yeah, I love this. See, that's what I love about YouTube in general, but it's just fun to connect with people from all over the world. In RPGs too. But yeah, streaming earlier in the day allows for a little of that. I realize for you West Coast people, you know, it's earlier in Arizona than it is here. It's probably what, 9:50 or 8:50, so that's not too terrible, but like, yeah, it's 7:50 right now on the West Coast. The West Coast peeps be sleeping. All right, I'm going to read a little about Sunstep and the Auric Reach, and maybe that will give us some cues as to how we might want to terrain it up. So, got my notes here. Hopefully I've got some notes on that. Oh, do I have the Pillars of Iron? I'm seeing some things here that I'm not sure if I have. Forlorn Peaks, Skyreach Summit. I'm not sure if the Pillars of Iron were labeled. Have to look at that later, I think. Oh. I think I do have them. I must have just missed it. Oh yeah, there we go. The Pillars of Iron. Right there. Duh. It's been a while, guys. Okay, so a massive fiery gorge is the Hellscar. Acts as an opening. A rift to the nine hells. Below it, the Turathi Waste is a desert where Baal Turath, the ancient tiefling empire, once stood. Their dark magic woke the Hellscar and turned the hills into a sandy death trap. Whew. Intense. To the left, the Sea of Storms. Okay, well, I'm not seeing many cues about the Sunstep. But if it's a step, it's probably, you know, a little bit grassy. Yeah. So let's do that. So if it's kind of a, you know, a grassy area. Romania, South America, man. Cool. All right, so if it's a step, we're going to do a little bit of this. I used to do more like just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, doing your reps. But what I found is that I kind of like this sort of look where there's one that's a little bigger in the middle, and then you just go down like that. Kind of like that. So something like this. And once in a while you can do, you know, smaller ones, bigger ones, whatever. Switch it up as you see fit. Man, my stomach. I guess I did not pay enough attention to, like, feeding myself today. I had 3 pancakes, but that was like 2 hours ago, and I have fast metabolism. And they were not big pancakes. So I might need to like run up and get a granola bar or something in a minute, guys. Just snack while I draw, because it's going. TMI? And because it's the sun step, you know, I think we need like a little. There we go. I'm joking, guys. I'm kidding. All right. Not going to do that kind of sun. We got to do a full circle. There we go. That's better. All right. I feel like this needs a little bit of over here. The ashen wood. All right. It's coming along. And then over here, we'll kind of continue it over here and do some like little grassy tufts over here too. And here's a rock, and you know, we're just trying to fill in some of the blank space here. Don't have to do this. You know, a lot of maps just kind of stick to the bigger icons, but I've gotten in the habit of doing this, and I generally like the way it looks. Cool. So Justin, I use a Wacom Cintiq. Yeah, making skid marks, I do need some protein. I think that's it, man. Oh yeah, so Joshua, yeah, your question here. Sorry for being off topic. Don't be. So I've been out of play for 15 years. My oldest 2 kids are 11 and 13. I've been prepping for the big introduction to D&D, but every time I try, I get cold feet. Man, your kids are the best way to start, you know, because they're going to be so gracious, and they're young, so they're going to be like, this is awesome, and they're going to spend time with their a parent, and that's super cool. You're their dad, and so I think that's the perfect way to start. And you know, I know some people say run your own thing, don't use a module, but that old D&D starter set, can't go wrong, man. Just, it's an easy way to jump in. It's fun right off the bat. They're going to be, you know, facing some spoilers, facing some goblins on the road, and it's cool. So I say go for it, and I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe, and if you're really like freaking out and just are incapable of crossing that, then maybe run it for yourself. You know, just take like 2 characters and just try to like say, okay, how would this go? And get into it. Start a sample combat, just you, 2 characters. But no, and play it loose with the rules. That's what I'll say too. Just kind of focus on the fun. And if you don't know a rule, just make up a roll. That's the thing. Look for an ability that makes sense. You know, dexterity or athletics or whatever it is, and ability or skill, and just go for it. The stone coast feels like it needs a stone right here. Sometimes you just got these little like cues that can then provide fodder for dungeon masters. Imaginations. So, I don't know. Cool. We can shade that later. Zoom out a little bit, and just we gotta keep our eye on the big picture. It's looking good. Let's see what people are saying here. Yep. Lost mine of Fendelver, that starter set. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and then, you know, just play it loose and yeah, enjoy. All right, the Hinterlands. Let's see if, you know, I don't know if I have too many like, oh, okay. So I do have some stuff here. Okay, so the Auric Reach has some hills. Okay, so we're gonna add some hills there. I kind of missed this. The Hinterlands is grassland. The Weald that Wends is forest. The Auric Reach, the Stone Coast is east, rocky, coastal. Yeah, so I think that's looking pretty good. Maybe we can put some more rocks in here too. And you know what? I feel like we might want an island out here. I know I'm not really in coastline mode. Sometimes. Tablet shut down. Problems. Not liking life. Huh? I don't know, Photoshop. What do you want me to do? Come on. My zoom button is not zooming. That worked. There we go. Okay. I don't know what was happening. Sometimes it just poops. Everybody poops. A little too much like boobs. So let's. There we go. Okay, the Hinterlands. Okay, so we're gonna do this actually. Check this out, guys. Totally cheating. We'll keep some of them. Cool. There we go. I feel like this is a little too, I don't really want it right on the text. There we go. This one too. And this will move a little bit down here. Cool. So I think that's pretty good. And then you know what? I probably could have just copied that and pasted it down here. Or pasted it up there because I can keep some grass. Well, we're going to have some hills, but I don't think they're going to be all over here necessarily. So maybe I done messed up a little bit. Let's see. And Joshua, you won't ruin it for him, man. No, it won't happen. Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds. I've tried Roll20. It's a great tool. I've tried Fantasy Grounds. No, I have not tried Fantasy Grounds. But I hear, they're great. No, not wanting to draw, huh? Guys, I don't know what's wrong with my Photoshop here. Oh, you know what? I bet I have something selected. So let's deselect and just see. Yep, I'm sure I had something selected somewhere that was not on screen. All right. So hills. Let's do some hills right here. Just gonna do this. Gonna do some hills over here. There we go. We'll do some hills up here. Let's get rid of this tufty grass. And delicious. Thank you so much. You're very kind. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the kind words just as much. Go get myself a nice, treat myself to a nice latte this week, huh? Because I'm like that. No, it's very much appreciated. Poll is actually mapping right now. That's what I like to hear. You know what? Just pick up a pen and doodle things. Even if you're not like working on a map, I encourage you. Just pick up a pen or pencil and some paper and just doodle some things. I'm trying to give myself time to experiment a little more and just doodle. That's kind of what the video I posted yesterday was about. Like I've been meaning to color maps for a long time now, but I'm never going to get good enough to like offer that service to clients to who I'm doing commission maps for if I don't just give myself time to mess around a little bit. So I need to do that a lot more. Yeah. So Christian, I drew the coastline the whole coastline and the wavy lines around it on paper. And I scanned it in after that. And yeah, scanned it in and then spin Photoshop. And the only reason I did that, I would have done it all in Photoshop, but I was on vacation in Seattle visiting my folks, as I do every summer. And, didn't want to lug my Cintiq to Seattle with me. It crossed my mind very briefly. Thanks, Nate and Dan. I bought LMOP starter set. Yep, lost mine at Fendover. Good. We're going to give it a shot today. Awesome. And you know what? Just like even that just opening encounter with goblins, say, hey kids, you want to try something? It doesn't have to be a big thing. And use the pre-gens if you want to, just make it easier just to jump right in. And, I did that and I just like set up some goblins and we were just playing on the floor of my basement. It was just like, you guys want to play something? And I was like, I knew the Lost Mines of Fendover pretty well. Lost Mine of Fendover. So I just decided one day, hey, you guys want to do this? And we had played some Hero Kids before that and other No Thank You Evil and stuff. But it was just like, let's try some 5e and just see how it goes. And I had to tell them what to roll and everything because they're younger. Your kids are a little older, so they'll kind of get the hang of it. And yeah, don't push it. Don't feel like you need to sit down for a big 4-hour session. Just do an encounter, get them into the dungeon a little bit, whet their appetite, and say, hey, let's, maybe we'll do more tomorrow or next weekend or whatever. All right. So, do some more hills over here. No good. Okay, So I think this is looking pretty good here. Now I am gonna do more of these. Falls Gaming, hi, thank you. Yeah, I did a color map once. Hello, Pieto Smiet. I did a color map once, and I don't even have it on my portfolio because I just wasn't happy with it. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't know. Am I embarrassed about it? Maybe I am. Yeah. Advice for beginners. Just draw. Or if you're talking about D&D, just play. All right, Long March, Hinterlands, the Pale. Let's see if I can find any information about the Pale. Is North and Arctic. Okay. So, well, it's not looking that way, but I've run it by my client, and he was okay with how it's looking. So I think we're gonna just kind of, I think we just need to add in some terrain lines. We've got this swampy area here, the Hag Fens, which is just a great name. Doesn't sound menacing at all. So we just got to kind of fill some of this in here. And let's put some hills right here. Okay. So I'm finally getting together with my home group after a couple months off, 3 months off, I think it's been. Pretty much took the summer off, and we're doing that a week from yesterday, so that'll be cool. I've been itching. You know, I've been making all these DM videos, and I'm like not DMing, and I just feel like it's building up. You guys know the feeling. Those of you who are dungeon masters, where it's like sometimes you need a break, and that's good. And it's good to get that feeling. It's good to give yourself some time to get the feeling, to let it, you know, be pent up and want to release the storytelling power. Tufts of grass there, and do a couple down here too. But yeah, the next Mappening, I think sometime in September, should be me trying the old rune hammer coloring. If you guys didn't see that, check him out from last week. He made a really good looking map in an hour in color. Now, it doesn't have, you know, like the level of detail, something like this, but it was awesome. And I really just want to experiment with more techniques. So what I was saying before, giving myself, I'm realizing the time to experiment and try new things so that I can develop new styles and things like that. It's like I could crank out these style maps and burn myself out and make some decent money making maps for clients, but I think I need to take some time. So I'm planning on, you know, after I finish the fall batch of maps that I've committed to, which there's like 4 more, so it's going to be quite a fall, I think I need to take a few months off. It's the same thing I said with DMing, you know, let it get to that point where like, ooh, I'm itching to draw a map. But take that time to just draw more for personal stuff and trying new things, and yeah, not always for clients, but just give myself the freedom to experiment. And this button that I use to, like, it's basically my space bar that I use to kind of scroll around the map. Sometimes it's like doesn't register, and it makes me draw a line. So if you're wondering what's happening there, that's what's happening. I think, you know, we're looking pretty terrained up. Like, I don't need to fill in every little space. Like, I don't need to go around the coast here and make sure everything is, I think it's, the frost crown is, this is a northern region and it's colder up here. So that's why it's whitish. It feels a little too white right now. So I think I'm going to knock it down a bit. Let's do that. So Mira, that's a good question. It's got 4 provinces, and I don't know if he really told me. There's definitely some tieflings in the Turathi Waste. And there's definitely some dwarves here. This is a dwarven settlement. I know that. Angkarag, which I love. That's such a cool name. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not totally sure. Guys, this is probably going to be kind of a long Mappening. I'm thinking about 2 hours I'm going to shoot for because I just have a lot to do and I want to be productive. This one is nearing completion, though. One thing I want to mess with real quick. Okay, I'm going to add some islands. Sorry, guys. I'm like hopped up on coffee and ADD. I wanted to add like a couple islands here just because it feels right on the Stone Coast. So let's just draw it. Oh, I should go on my coastline layer, which I think is map 1. Yeah, there we go. If you guys are enjoying yourself, I'd love it if you could hit that little like button down below. That always helps. The more people do that, the more YouTube decides to say, hey, we should show this video to people. Okay, so we got a couple of little islands there. We're going to need to make I think the line's a little bit thicker. That's okay. And we'll go right here and just do a little longer shaped island. Okay, let's zoom in. Get some more detail on these guys. So we shade the get a thicker line on the bottom portion here. It's just what I do. Not totally necessary. Okay. Yeah, Joshua, definitely let us know how it turns out, man. You can message me on Twitter, or you can email me at sellswordmaps@gmail.com. Or message me on Facebook. Okay, so obviously we need to get rid of the water shade there, so let's do that now. Actually, it might be easier if we just do this. Excuse me, I burped. My stomach settled down though, guys. You'll be interested to know. Close enough. Ooh. No pixels were selected. Yeah, I'm going to be running a game for... I'm trying to put together a kid-friendly game for Grand Con in West Michigan. If you guys are anywhere near West Michigan, I'd love to meet you at Grand Con. Grand Rapids, Michigan here. And I'm going to be running a couple things. Going to try to run 3 games total. And I've never run a game at a con before, so that'll be a first. Okay, I'm liking how it's looking. We just got to add the old wavy lines. What is happening? Oh, still that selection thing. Ron, yeah, GIMP. Yeah, you know, if you're a college student or a teacher, you can get or a professor, you can get an education discount. Or, you know, if your brother is a college student, or you know, whatever, $10 a month for Photoshop. But I don't think. I mean, I'm making a few $100 a month doing maps for people, so I can justify that. If it's just for, like, you want to draw a map of your world, GIMP is great. And, you know, the tablets, you can get a decent, if you want to try this digital drawing stuff, you can get a decent tablet for like $75-$80. And I think I don't remember what I posted in the video description, but I usually try to do my WASD 20 approved map forging tools. And if I did post that in the video description, you'll see a link to the Wacom Intuos, which used to be the Bamboo, but now they decided to make it confusing, and then they still have the Intuos Pro, which I used to have. But the Intuos is just fine for starting out, and you know, it's the same kind of input. It's just got less of the bells and whistles, less of the like buttons and, you know, shortcut keys and all that stuff. So it's still really good. So you consider that GIMP is free, and one of them tablets is like $80. It's the barrier is low for getting into this. This right here is just like, I got some of these sections that are a little bit, I shouldn't pay attention to them. You can't tell when you zoom out. All right. That's pretty good. Just felt like the Stone Coast needed some more stones out in the water. Cool. Yeah, Wacom just makes quality products. They last. The Intuos that I use, what used to be my friend Barker's, he gave it to me. I ended up kind of giving it to school for students to use at school, because now I have this, so I keep it there. And you know, if a student needs one for art class or whatever, we have a couple people can check out. We also bought some of the smaller Intuoses. Yeah. All right, I think up here we do need some, in the frost crown, I was going to maybe lighten up my snow layer a tiny bit. And then I'm saying at 11:30, I need to head over to the other map and do a little of that. So hold me to it, folks. Okay, I'm rusty. Here we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's like just like a tad bit lighter. Incarnate is great, Chuck. Yep. All right, so I'm going to try going with some white lines in here. And yeah, zoom in a bit. So that's a bit drastic. We'll get rid of that and that. Okay. But if we can just go in here and just kind of give this some snowy texture. Yeah, Incarnate is a tool that I think, you know, it can benefit from a little artistic talent, like, you know, but it's not necessary to make a good looking map. Yeah, sure. Okay. Now, if I zoom out, does that even register? Yeah. It registers a bit. There's a bit of texture there. Could be more, probably. Maybe I'll make some thicker lines here, too. Kick my brush size up to 9. Have some fun in here. Okay. Oops. Okay. Cool. So still to come on this one, I got to do a border. I got to do compass rows. Oh, the text. So I think we've got everything in place. And I'm going to combine text layers. It's risky. Let's see. Will it let me merge down? I think I have to rasterize or whatever. I think it's going to make me do that if I want to merge down. Okay, so if I rasterize that and this, merge down becomes an option. Yeah. The hag fens, where'd it go? Okay, yep, so that does turn the stroke off. Yeah. Nope, I can't do that. Okay. So one option would be to turn my stroke off on all of them. But I think what I need to do, the issue I'm having is the stroke around the text edge is just too bright. It's a little too white. And so I think I'll probably mess with that later, but let's just get a feel for it here. Like if I go to, yeah, we're going to undo. I could turn this stroke off. Yeah, I'm going to mess with this later. This is getting a little too Photoshoppy, guys. I don't want to do that to you. Last one we did was text on Iskloft. And yeah, we got very Photoshoppy, and it was not very much about cartography, so to speak. Prupra, welcome. I'll probably be live for another hour. That's my plan. We're gonna break into this map a little bit. This is very rough, and what I need to do next is the coastlines. But I'm gonna go refill my coffee, get a granola bar or something to stop my belly from grumbling, and I will be right back. So here we go. Whoops, that didn't happen. Let's try this. Nate will be right back. Okay, be right back. I'm back. All right. People talking about THAC0 to hit armor class. What's the O, guys? Help me out. I didn't get a granola bar. I got some leftover pizza. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, we're going from rough coastline to real coastline. Let's do it. Ah, 0. Okay. Yeah, I never played second edition. Forgive me eating in front of guests. How rude. Pentium, gracias. So, we're going to make this nice and light. And let me just make sure my client okayed this rough coastline. I think he did. John A., we're eating leftover pizza and drawing some maps. We got a couple commissions I'm working on. So this one I'm given a lot of creative license on, which is cool, but it's also more work. Like, I have to make decisions. So, we'll start top left. I'm going to zoom in a lot because this map, he wants it like very detailed. And we're going to go down to a smaller brush. And we're going to start. Drawing. Sorry guys, that pizza made me all quiet. So mistakes I've made in the past with coastlines is being overly consistent in how I vary it. So, for example, let's like really make it all jagged and cool looking. And then you like, I had the same like all the way around the whole coastline. It's driving me crazy. So I'm trying to get better at that. But it's hard. And like, look at some coastlines. They're just not very jagged, guys. They're super smooth. And that's okay too. So we want to give it a look where it's got enough detail. So you've got some little things going on. And let's, like, you know, we can put some islands out here, sure. Little stuff like that going on. Chain of islands there. Cool. And then let's knock this down a little more in opacity here. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's just get rid of this, see how that looks. Okay, and we got to zoom out. We're trying to keep a sense of scale here. I wonder if I should almost just like pencil in like a mountain so that I have like a sense of scale. But I'm thinking that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that'll be a good level of detail. This coastline is bugging me. I did what I was saying, where it's just like, I kept the same movement in my hand for too long. And it's like consistently nice and jagged, which is bad. Let's just deform it a little bit. There we go. Cool. I like that. I'm not keeping up very well in the chat. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. But thank you for joining me. Thanks for hanging out with me. David, I'm just using the default round brush. I think it's hard round. Let's see. Yeah, hard round with pressure sensitivity to the size. Right there. This is insane. Why did I do that? There we go. Okay. Thank you for confirming. Colonel RPG. Yes. Artistic minds think alike. Sometimes. A little bit. I mean, hopefully not too much, right? Different styles are good. But, I mean, there are kind of universal truths in art. Like, you know, perspective. Or something like that. Where it's like, no, there is only one correct perspective. Now, you can disobey the laws of perspective for effect. Distort things and whatever. If you're being intentional about it, it can be cool. But got to have a purpose and be intentional about it. All right, and then we'll do this right here. And I feel kind of like the shape of these, I want to give them a more, I don't know. I think what I'll end up doing is I'll end up turning some of these to give them kind of a, just more of a natural feel. I'm not sure. Okay, now see, like this shape right here, it's similar to this right here. Just noticing, I get stuck in these little ruts where I do the same thing. So let's not let me do that. Let's make this more narrow. And then we'll actually take that down a little bit. And that just varies it from the previous. Feel like I need to zoom in a little bit. Yep, too much. There we go. Okay. Not bad. The nice thing is in Photoshop I can always refine it later. Shaping islands like letters. Hey, Mappernomicon, what's up? Good to see you. Okay. Map shaped like letters. This one's a 6. Let's try it. How does that look? No idea what I'm doing right now, but it sounded like an interesting idea. It's gonna look like a fetus or something, I think. I don't know. A little too round. Now, it's okay to have some roundness. You want to switch it up and have some very flat things and some very round things and some very just jagged things and wavy things, and at least I like to. I think I like the way it looks. I don't know. An alien coming out of an egg, yeah. Well, yeah, you're right. 6 isn't a letter, but someone said 8. I think the person who brought up the letters might have mentioned like an 8. So I went with that. I stuck with the 8 thing. Okay, well, this one we're just going to pretty much follow what I have here. This one I'm sticking pretty close to what I had. And this one, I think what I need to do is, to avoid the monster coming out of the egg look, I'm going to turn it that way, like opposite. Just cut off the head. Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do. Yeah, let's do it. Cool. We're going to keep something, though, but it's not going to look like a head anymore. It's going to look like a crazy thing. That's too much. So the disadvantage that I'm running into with the having the pressure sensitivity up is that then my lines are not totally consistent, but I'm kind of okay with that in terms of not being completely consistent in weight, line weight. Yeah, I think that's going to be all right. I am going to go in and like probably darken the bottom of the coastlines at some point, like I usually do. Yeah, it looked like a shrimp. I agree. Mappernomicon, 62,000 subs is right, man. It is insanity. It's craziness. I don't know what happened. You know, one thing that happened is YouTube decided to like show people all my old 3-year-old mapping videos all of a sudden for some reason. That was one thing a few months back, and it's kind of continued. So I'm getting like a lot of traffic on those. It's interesting. Okay, I kind of like the shape of this so far. A little more boxy. I mean, there's a lot of boxy shapes. I'm liking them. But maybe we need something round. There's that roundish bay. Okay. Down by the bay. Old camp song. That's pretty good. Down by the bay. That's a Christmas tree right there. Wait, wait. In fact, we're just gonna, get rid of it. Now it's a bent Christmas tree. That's better. The only Christmas trees in this world. Maps are very advertiser friendly, bro. No boobs, no violence, no politics. You might just single-handedly hold YouTube afloat. I like that. You know, I filled out a YouTube survey last night, and that they sent to creators, and it was really interesting. There's a lot of talk about content that is inclusive and basically like doing what the YouTube views as good, which is like, I can't remember what the exact words, but it was something like, are you fighting against hate speech or fighting for inclusivity, sort of, not fighting, but anyway, questions that we're getting at those ideas. Like, no, just talking about D&D. Maps, being inclusive. All about it. Everyone is welcome. But it was almost like, whereas kind of the message you get from YouTube sometimes is that they're like, anything that's political, they're like, not advertiser friendly. But in this, it was almost like, no, like, be political in the sense of like speaking out against hate speech. I don't know if that's being political, but I don't want to get into this, guys. What have I done? I like this shape. But let's make it a little... Yeah. Oh yeah. David, where do I get my inspiration from? You know, I look at a lot of real world maps, that's for sure. If I'm like really struggling with like, what do I do here? I will go to like Google Maps and just, matter of fact, let's do it. Maybe it'll help my map. Let's go like this. Map of, somebody give me a country in the chat. Somebody give me a country or a continent or a region. Just give me something. Yes, John A. Politically correct. Yeah, I think that's kind of what it comes down to. Hey, M's Morning Glory. Thanks for joining. Pork Chop Island. The first one I got. Oh, you're talking about the shape of my island, I think. That's not a real island, is it? Oh, it's a place. No, it's not. It's a term. Being a road traffic control shape island. Yeah, anyway. I misunderstood. Okay. Orkney, Ireland, Tahiti. Tahiti! I have no idea what Tahiti looks like, guys. Okay. It's a really interesting shape. It's shaped like a figure 8. But you know what? Here's where we get the inspiration. I'm going to drag this over here. So, I don't like the way this looks. I don't care if this is a real place. I never want to go to French Polynesia or Tahiti. No. But what I'm saying is, even though I don't really care for that shape on my map, I can zoom in and I can get ideas from some of this. So this looks like it might be the reef right here. But, you know, let's just zoom way in here. You zoom in far enough and you'll get some things. So, okay. But I can't really keep this up here on my screen very well. I can try. Let's just pull that over there. Okay, sure. So let's try this. Oh, I lost the chat. I don't want to lose you guys. All right. I lost my tools here. Okay, there we go. They're there. My pen is there. All right. This is not a sustainable setup here, but we'll bear with it for a few. All right, so I see this weird little shape there by Toamomono. Something. I'm going to pull that out of there. And then I see this. So anyway, you guys get the idea. I'm just taking some inspiration here, some cues from a real location. And no one is going to look at this island and say, that looks like Tahiti, because it absolutely does not. But I've taken some inspiration from a real world coastline. Where else am I finding inspiration here? Right here, hypermarket. What a cool sounding place. It's a market, but it's like really hyper. And look at this right here. It is kind of like, you know, very jagged. Just so, sure. All right, now I'm kind of doing my own thing a little too much. So let's go look at another part of the map here. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing super fancy. It's just kind of, you know, little bits of variation. Kind of rounded, this bay, like kind of rounded here. So let's just, yeah, we can make it roundish. So, you know, you can get a natural feel. Now, there are parts of the world where you can draw it and people will say, that looks weird, that doesn't look right. And, you know, like this, for example. I mean, I don't know, guys, is this like a, I'm trying to see, is this like a volcano or something, or just a big mountain? Because it's round, right? It's kind of interesting. But no, there's definitely some elevation gains here. It's Ripley. I don't know much about Tahiti. That looks like a crater right there, doesn't it? Guys, let's just take a break from drawing a map and check out the world. So cool. The world is pretty cool. All right. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me through that. And yeah. So John Be Good, why don't you use real maps? You know, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's all about being imaginative. You know, it's expression, but it's taking inspiration, making your world an imaginative place that doesn't feel too much like the here and now, so you can escape, right? And yet you want it to be believable. And so that's why taking cues from the real world can really help. You want it to feel believable. You know, if I have an island that's shaped like, you know, a star, and it's like a little too spot on, it's like, well, very interesting, right? Wow, a fantasy world. But no, it's like, it's not believable enough for me. I have trouble with that. So I don't know if I'm making any sense here. So for this map, I am probably going to be trying to scan in some of my tea-stained paper that I did a couple weeks ago, and just try to mess with it in Photoshop for sure. I used raspberry black tea. That smells good. Yeah. I think that'll be interesting because I've been using a lot of stock, you know, images and backgrounds, and like this one, I probably have like 3 or 4 different like aged papers that I kind of blended together and I messed with and I changed the colors a bit and all this stuff, just like free to use stuff, free for commercial use on Google image search or Flickr and stuff, and but I want to make my own a little more. It is a goal of mine. So I can say, like, this map, like, I did this from the ground up. I'm not using someone's paper texture that they took a photo of as a base. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but... So, you know, we're getting a little bit rounded here, and that's okay. And then I'm gonna go totally unrounded with that and get a little jagged. So it's about varying it. And not, you don't want to have your whole world just swoopy lines, but you also don't want to have it all the whole way. Methinks. It's just like my opinion, man. Okay, we had a chain of islands out here, which I think looks, it's like a good place for it. So let's accentuate that. That one's not really a part of the chain so much, but it's okay. We still like it. There we go. Had a lot of comments recently on, not a lot, but you know, on the mapping videos, people saying, why the beans? Like, why the beans? Like, Why do you need that, right? A, aren't you imaginative enough to like come up with your own? You need beans to help you. It's just inspiration, man. It's all about just getting things that you wouldn't normally get on your own. But specifically, the beans were not so I could just drop them on the paper and trace them. The beans were that I could mess with the shapes and visualize what certain shapes would look like, seeing them in the beans, without putting pencil to paper yet, and then having to say like, I don't like that, I'm going to erase that. Rather, just put them out there, and you can use anything to do that. Some people will actually take continents, and I've done it before too, I've shown it, where I actually take like, a bunch of images from real world continents, put them together here, mash them together, and like distort them, and then like I draw my coastlines based on that, and that can work really well too. I think Barker did that on one of the older Mappenings that I had him as a guest. The shirt idea, the paper dinosaur, is, yes, and Steve, this will be on YouTube, yep. The shirt idea that I think I gotta do is something about follow the nuance of the bean. Seems to be the one that people have latched onto. Or every nuance of the bean or something like that. I don't know. And then just have a picture of like some beans with like someone drawing. I don't know. You tell me. Because at some point I mentioned in that video, maybe even twice, you don't want to follow like every nuance of the bean. Or here and there I like to follow every nuance of the bean. Or I don't remember what I said. But people have latched onto that one. And recently I did mention in the comments, I think that would sounds like a good t-shirt. Okay, so this is like, there's too many, there's like 4 of these things, and they're all about the same. No good. Nope. So, this one we'll get rid of. Maybe we'll do this, actually. Sure. And then this one we're going to make wider, like this. There we go. Nope, I think we're just going to keep it flat. Oh, cool, the paper dinosaur, the dice rolling tray, yeah. So Kahoo, this is a commission map. So yeah, I'm drawing this for a client. He gave me some rough idea, but he wanted me to take liberties with it and just like kind of go nuts. So I went through a couple drafts of doing that, and here we are. Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I feel like we need a little more like scatter of islands in here, smaller islands. So before we go over to that big continent, we'll do some scattering. Thank you everybody for joining me and hanging out on this fine Saturday, if it is indeed Saturday where you are. Whew, 73 people. Just a few. How about I'm a little scatterbeaned? No, I'm telling you, Mappernomicon, it has to be every nuance of the bean. I don't care if it's suggestive. That's the point. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Yeah, okay, we'll do our islands first. I was getting off track. Okay. So we're just trying to fill in here with some little islands. Don't like that one. There we go. Cool. Too many of those shapes already. Let's make like a crescent shaped one here. Too much. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's turn this off and just kind of get a feel for how we're looking here. Like, oh, I think that's pretty good. Yep. I think we're on the right track. Paper Dinosaur, today's my grad party, got my PhD and I'm loving sneaking. Hey, cool, man. I know what you mean. Like sometimes when there's a lot of people and yeah, you just gotta sneak away. So thanks for joining us and congratulations on that. That's huge. PhD. As someone who just got their master's degree a few months ago, it's like, yeah, it feels good to finish something like that, right? To be done. Okay, get my rough back here for this one. Oh, my back. It's not a good back day. Oh. What about an island inside of a lake in an island? Yeah. I think that's getting a little too crazy. Mortadella. But, sure, let's do a big lake. Let's go over here. Just got a text. Turn that dang phone off. Leave me alone, world. I feel like we need to finish the 6, guys. It's got to have a big hole in the middle. Nope, I can't do it. I am incapable of doing that. There's going to be a lake right here. A really big lake. I like that. I like that lake shape. And there's going to be an island, but it's not right in the middle. That just feels too much for me. Little island right there. Sure, we'll go with that for now. I don't know if that's going to make the final cut. So you notice I did a whole lot of coastline real quick right there because I just felt like, nope, we're gonna make a big straightaway. Can do that sometimes. You don't want to get too much of that, but sometimes you can. Lakes on island usually look better if they are at the feet of a mountain range or volcano. Yeah. Truth. Yep. Bye, pink fluffy turtles. Yeah, so Kahoot, I do try to follow some sort of logic, but the reality is I don't know a lot about it. So I do look at real maps and take cues from those in terms of placement of rivers, and there are certain rules that I follow. Like, you know, where there's a chain of islands, there is likely to be more mountains right here, because these are maybe like, you know, if I draw some mountains here, right, that would make sense, because then these are the tops of more mountains that just got, you know, the valleys, or the space in between the mountains is below sea level, right? So there's certain rules like that you know, make sense, and you try to pay attention to some of those. Rivers don't split. Rivers join together. Things like that, right? Yeah, so there's certain rules. If there's a river, if there's like mountains, like in a coastal area, sometimes someone told me this, and I don't know if it's true, but sometimes you'll see like a drier, arid climate on the other side of the mountains, right? I think that's like a rain shadow. I'm not really sure. I learned about the rain shadow effect in my PNW class in 9th grade. Okay. Having some trouble here. Whoa. Ah! Help, world! Help me! What have I done? There we go. Okay, what I was hoping to do there is rotate a little bit this way. No, not that way. There we go. Okay. Because it's just a little easier to draw for me this way. All right. I feel like it just needs one. There we go. One thing like that. One of them thingers. Haven't done one of these in a while. So we'll get in here and do a little of that. Okay. Yeah, so the Andes are a great example of that, Mortadella. Yep, absolutely. And yeah, in Washington, the rain shadow effect is such that west of the mountains by Puget Sound is why is this? I think I have to do one finger only. I think I'm messing it up doing two fingers. There we go. West of the mountains gets a lot of rain, and then as soon as you cross to the east side of the state, over the mountains, it's pretty dry. So yeah, I know a few of those rules, enough to be dangerous. What I don't know. What are some you guys know? What are some? Teach me. Oops. Boop. Wrong button. I see a little break in my line here. Cool. All right. So I think we'll probably put a few more islands around. Some of the bigger continents. Whoop. Step forward. Sometimes you just do like these little, when you do a couple of these little tiny specks, even just a couple on the map as a whole, it really like gives you the feeling like, oh, this is like super detailed. At least for me. So just like a little dot there. Two of them. All right. Get rid of the rough coastline here and oh, did I draw this on the wrong layer? Or did I just I think I just didn't finish it. No. Oh, shoot. I was really happy with the way that turned out. I must have hit the undo button, I think is what I did. Well, I need to rewind the video to go see what I did. No, I'm kidding. Moses Lake, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think I had something like this, and then like a little of this. And it was good. Okay. I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah. So far, so decent. Just thinking, just pondering. I think I'm tired, guys. The Ruby Mountains in northeastern Nevada. The southern side has marshes and the northern side is high desert. Interesting area. Huh. Yeah, and one thing that I want to just learn a little bit more of that I think would help like a map like this is learning more about plate tectonics. I got a book. Someone sent me a book. I should give it a shout out because they seemed like they knew what they were doing a little bit. A lady who wrote a book on like just making maps that make sense. See if I can find it. D.N. Frost is her name. Fantasy Map Maker Jumpstart. 61 easy tips for fantasy world building with real earth science. There's also one on Drive-Thru RPG that I own. But I will post this in the chat. You guys can check it out. I think the Kindle version is free if you have Prime. Or maybe it's just free in general. I don't know. But I gave it a quick glance and it looked like it would be helpful for stuff like this. Yeah, I think I'm going to start going in and just darkening that southern edge of the coastline like I do. We'll start where we started. Man, it keeps happening. Here we go. Okay. This is one step that I do find a little bit easier on paper. Now, here's another option that I've thought about, but I feel like it just lacks life. But if you're looking for a shortcut to do this, if you're making a map digitally, I will give you one. Let's take this continent. In theory, this works, I should say. Oh, what's happening? I have this selected. I have coastline selected. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't screw something up top here. No, okay, good. I think we're good. I didn't mess anything up. All right, so what I was thinking is you just copy, Command-Shift-V to paste in the same spot, and then you can take your mover tool and yeah, it does it on the top too, see? That's the problem. So it's almost like you could do this and then maybe go back and erase. At that point, it's like, I don't know if it's worth it, right? Go back and erase this. And then go in and fill in. Like this would be erased too. Go in and fill that in. Just you know, you can merge them together and do bucket fill, or you can just fill it in with a pen, or you know, whatever you want. Or you could just do that a couple times and get another layer in there, or just move it up a little bit maybe. Yeah, probably if we just move it up a tad, it might be good enough. But anyway, I like the hand-drawn look. I like to add a little variation. But there are shortcuts like that if you're using Photoshop. Do I draw flags from my maps? Nope. Oh, you know, I've done like the text banners and stuff. I've done these things where I, you know, do a, what's happening? I think I still have that other thing selected. There we go. So I've done like this sort of thing before for sure. Yeah, anyway, that's a quick, messy, not consistent one. But yeah, I've done those, and then I've done, of course, you know, on buildings and stuff, I'll do my little towers and stuff like that. But nope, no big like nation flag sort of things. It'd be cool. Definitely be cool to, like, you know, you can do city icons where you kind of do like a coat of arms sort of symbol, you know, and like this is your region, and then you've got your, I don't know, your lion. Just like a lion, right? Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so that's a cool way to like label a region or a kingdom, similar to like a flag. Yeah, see, like just a little variation, how it's not all consistent. I've got like a little lump right there, and this looks a little off, and I like that. So to the feeling of doing it automatically in Photoshop, having it do it for me and having it be all consistent and neat is not pleasing to me. The notion I find quite repulsive. Is it a map drawing book, Kindle? Yeah, so that one is, I think it's just digital. Yeah. And it's just, yeah, it's cool. Asperg the Bard. No, I haven't. Hey, viewer, thanks. Yeah, it's been a good couple months for sure. The map drawing book I always recommend if you're looking for a book is How to Draw Fantasy Art and RPG Maps by Jared Blando. Jared Blando is awesome. He's a great artist, and I might have that in my linked down in the video description. I always mean to and usually don't, but here, I'll give you guys an affiliate link. If you buy through my links, it helps support the channel. It's the same great price. Sorry to be a shill, but paying the bills is nice. Let's see. So this one's available in Kindle version for $11.99. Oh, and right now it's only $16.09 in paperback. That's really cheap because I feel like it's been up to $20 or $25. Yeah, that's my favorite. It's just, it gets into like, yeah, like doing a coat of arms and like, you know, city icons and like, well, how do you draw a magical portal on your map, and like just fun fantasy stuff, and of course the basics of like mountains and stuff, which I don't use. I have my own style that, you know, I don't use Jared Blando's style for everything, but some of his stuff I'm like, yeah, but like I can do that to my map and it'll look good. Man, the cicadas outside are just chirping like. It's not at all what it sounds like, but they're loud. It's like this high-pitched buzzing, chirping. All right. Coming along. It is coming along. Oh. And they come in waves too. I hear it like building, like it's kind of intense. So sometimes if like this is already a pretty small opening here, so I'll just do the top there. There we go. And this already looks like pretty thick here. So some of this I've already, in fact, this right here looks a little too thick. So let's go in here and just like press a little more lightly. This too. Just pressing too hard. There we go. Oh, I need to go for a walk. My back is hurting today. Take some ibuprofen and go for a walk. I also hope to work on some of the office stuff. I've still got some molding on my door to finish. I'm so slow with house projects. I just get lazy. In the evening after work, I would rather sit on the couch. Shocking, I know. Or, you know, stay up till 2 a.m. editing a video. That's the thing with this. I'm really trying to, you know, yes, it's been a good few months, and I'm really trying to hit it hard and like work hard and be consistent and produce good quality stuff and grow the channel and, you know, put myself in the position to someday make this a living, maybe, or at least a part-time living. Whereas right now it's like, yeah. Anyway, what was I saying about that? So yeah, there's been some late nights, I guess is what I'm saying. And stuff around the house. It's like, nope, it's Thursday night. I gotta work on this, or it's, you know, I'm working on a script for like 2 nights in a row for a video sometimes, and the molding of the office in the office that is off camera right now. It's not a priority. Cool. Oxford, what up, Rory? Yeah, I usually don't stream him in very Europe-friendly times. Yeah, I'm in Michigan. You know, yeah, there are cicadas all over the world for sure, but we didn't. I never remember hearing or seeing them in Washington where I grew up. It was not a thing. Here it gets loud. Sometimes, like in the evening, it's like deafening. And then you walk like by a certain tree, and they all just quiet. So people got game plans this weekend? Anyone playing some RPGs? See, like sometimes I can, with those shadows, I can actually add a little bit more shape than a area of coastline actually has, and like just like boop, boop, you know, make it a little more wavy, or vary it if it feels a little too flat. Yeah, I think gonna end it here in about 5 minutes, we'll say. It's been good. Thank you guys for joining. A lot of people hanging out, which is fun. And I get to be productive and get some of this commission work done. It's gonna be a busy week because I've got a D&D game on Friday, and then that I'm running for my home group, and then I've got one commission that I'm this map, like I need to finish. So border, compass rose, and other final touches, finishing details. And I'm teaching. I'm back to school. We've had 3 days of classes so far, and it's good. I like my job. I think if I didn't like my job, you guys would probably see me working a lot harder on YouTube, and you know, I put in a lot of work, but might see me taking risks and being a little more, I don't know. You know, I'd be trying harder to really hit it hard to make it a living if I didn't like my job. But I like teaching. I'm not in any hurry to give it up. I think someday, maybe in a year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3, I don't know. It'd be nice to be able to go part-time teaching. But I don't know, maybe not. Or maybe I would quit teaching entirely. I don't know. Ashton, thanks so much. Really appreciate that. Generous people like you are part of what make it happen. Hi, Caitlin. All right, let's go up here. Get this one going. I like pineapples on pizza. Yes. I am a fan of the Hawaiian pizza, the ham and pineapple. Or Canadian bacon and pineapple, depending on where you are. And I mean, like, I don't mean like if you're in Canada. I don't know if they call it that in Canada. I just know, like, depends on what pizza place you're going to, whether they just have ham or they call it Canadian bacon. And there probably is an actual difference. I don't know. Michael, how to play. Yeah, my videos might help. You know, the how to play series and the D&D rule school series, I think, would be enough to give you a basic feel for it. But yeah, get that starter set, read the book a little bit, and like others have pointed out, the basic rules are free too, so that's easy. You can download that today and be playing tonight, you know. But yeah, it is a little intimidating at first. You just got to get over it, though. That's the thing. It's intimidating at first, and then once you run it, it's like, oh, it's not so bad. But yeah, it's very intimidating. It was very intimidating for me at first. For some people, they just jump right into it. For me, it was a big deal. I've only been playing for about 4 years now. I think I played my first RPG a little over 4 years ago. 4 years and 3 months, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, Ricky, we kind of talked about that, and I actually demonstrated that technique a little bit. I just actually pasted this and then dropped it down. Drop shadow is absolutely another way, but I really like the hand-drawn look. See how this is kind of imperfect here? Whoops. Right here, I mean, it's a little bit jagged, and like my hand was not totally steady, and I kind of do that intentionally, and I just like to do it by hand. It is time consuming, but I like it. I like to do it by hand. This coastline right here is looking a little too thick. Yeah, but I think I better end it. I really gotta stand up and go for a walk. Oh, no worries, Ricky. Yeah. Guys, I like you. You're cool. Hope you have a wonderful Saturday. I want to thank you so much for joining me. It looks like, wow, our peak was 89 viewers. Wow. And there's 65 still here. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I want to thank my patrons for their support. If you're interested in supporting WASD20, you can check out patreon.com/WASD20. If you're interested in map commissions, I'm pretty booked up for the next several months. But you can reach out at sellswordmaps@gmail.com, or you can check out info at sellswordmaps.com. Yeah, I think I have a link right up there. Anything else I need to be saying? I don't think so. I think my next video might be a review of Tales from the Loop, which I've been working on. And Tales from the Loop is a really cool RPG. What else am I working on? Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. I've got definitely some DM tips, DM journey videos to make. But got some reviews coming up. Oh, I also got this cool, show you. Realmsmith Encounter Crate, which I'll be doing a video on sometime soon. One of these like monthly crates. And this one happens to be like for a D&D encounter. It has a mini. It has it has a mini and some other stuff. So, yeah, it's cool. But thank you guys again, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay friendly, stay frosty, and just stalling so I can find the stop streaming button. All right, adios, everybody.